Cubs, Bush Strips, and Spitfires are just some of the new releases to grace the simulation world this week. Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap, and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings-on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 16th of June 2024 for another action-packed episode, and we're going to jump straight into it this week with a release of a new aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator, that being the Piper J3 Cub from developer Classic Aircraft Simulations. So I know that there has been some consternation in the Microsoft Flight Simulator community over the past few years about why developers focus on these small GA aircraft and not doing all of the big, beautiful airliners and things like that. Well, that's because these aircraft are simply amazing, but also it is an interesting choice, and especially for producing a classic aircraft like the Piper J3 Cub from developer Classic Aircraft Simulations, because the Piper Cub is very much a aircraft that is important to the heritage of Microsoft Flight Simulator franchise as a whole. And I know there have always been questions asked about why people would like to produce an aircraft like this, going all the way back to when A2A released theirs for FSX many moons ago. So as an aviation icon, the team over at Classic Aircraft Simulations have attempted to do their best at recreating this aircraft, as it is not exactly a new aircraft, and potentially, you know, not exactly a complex aircraft, but it has been done with a pretty good high detail of modeling here. So we get not only do we get a highly detailed external and internal model of the aircraft, we also get some custom procedures with this one, with custom flight model designed to take full advantage of all of the various technological innovations as presented in Microsoft Flight Simulator, with physics-based animations, full modeling of engine damages and failures, engine oil consumptions, and a hand prop start procedure and engine start simulation. So for me, this is very much sounding like the experience that we got with A2A with their aircraft, with their rendition of it back in the FSX and Prepared days. And quite frankly, I'm kind of surprised actually that A2A haven't actually done their Cub for MSFS yet. I mean, we've got the Comanche, which of course was their flagship aircraft. But this is probably one of the aircraft that they are absolutely the most known for especially for those of us who've been simming in this genre for many years. So you get a detailed rendition of this aircraft, including support for various failures, including landing gear failures and a prop strike, interactive refueling, as well as a custom sound set, enhanced vibration and camera movement effects, as of course the inclusion of a tablet for various settings of the aircraft, including setting the spats on the aircraft as well. Now, if you're wanting to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you pick this one up for $18 or your original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Continuing on with Microsoft Flight Simulator releases now, the team over at Aviotech Simulation Software have released their first airport, I believe, for Microsoft Flight Simulator, with the release of Frankfurt Main International Airport. Now, this is interesting because this developer has been around for quite a while, but I believe this is their first scenery for MSFS, and it's an airport that they are absolutely experienced with, having released it previously for X-Plane. So they've given us a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears at the end of 2023, with high quality details, all airport buildings models, custom GSE and ground vehicles, animated jetways, full support for GSX, up-to-date taxiway layouts, ground layouts, ground textures, custom internal interiors, a number of POIs outside the airport surroundings as well as modeling the infamous highway tunnel and overpass that actually goes underneath one of the taxiways, which for me is something I have landed in real life in Frankfurt, Maine, and we got to actually taxi over that ramp there and see the highway and go underneath it, and it was an absolutely cool thing. I don't know if you can drive your Juice Goose under it. I'll have to get the scenery and find out, because I would love to find it if I can. But yeah, custom terrain profile, elevation, terrain mesh, all the usual fun stuff that we see. But not only have they released this incredibly high detailed scenery, they've also released it as freeware, which is a pretty damn impressive thing, especially considering, looking at the screenshots I'm seeing here, this looks like a pretty amazing piece of scenery. So to release this first product for free for the community is a pretty bold move and pretty awesome gift to the community. So if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for free, available from Orbix Direct. Continuing on with airport releases now, so the team over at Backwoods Studios have released their latest small little bush trip, with releasing a UK bush trip of Glenswinton Aerodrome in the United Kingdom. So this is goes back as a military airfield in World War One. Was also then as an airfield during the Second World War, and has then sort of moved on to become a home for various flying cubs and private aviators. But it's actually decreased in popularity, but is still a hub for GA aviation enthusiasts around the United Kingdom to preserve its legacy and continue on with that one. But it is today, in this modern times, it is a property, it's the site of a logging operation, but they've actually chosen to not make this airport as it appears today. They've chosen to roll back the clock a few years and keep the forest where it is, and actually keep it at it's I'm not going to say its heyday, but during its period of popularity with GA aviation enthusiasts. It comes to us as a usual thing from the team over at Backward Studios. It is a low-cost, high-quality, small little. I don't know if I want to call these micro sceneries, but I absolutely love the work that the team over at Backward Studios are doing. I've done a review of one of their airports. There's actually a review of a couple of their other airports coming out very shortly on the channel. Much delayed because of various personal things, but I love these little bush and regional strips that the team over at Backward Studios are doing. So if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $5 or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. And continuing on with the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator and giving us a great segue into X-Plane. So over at Orbix Direct, the team over at Orbix have released their latest Landmarks pack, with releasing their Detroit City Pack. So Detroit being known as the home of vehicle manufacturing, this provides over 50 custom buildings and structures throughout the city, including detailed representations of the waterfront and industrial areas along the Detroit River, with providing a updated photogrammetry details and animated people mover on its raised tracks throughout the city's downtown. So if you're a Microsoft Flight Simulator flyer, you can pick this one up for $10. There's also an X-Plane version, which essentially brings the same content across. Though I'll be honest, the the photo real imaging used to sort of base the scenery seems to be nowhere near as good as it looks in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know whether that's a limitation of the sim or whether they had to use different types of aerial imagery. I don't know, but definitely looking at it, the MSFS one looks far better. So you can also pick it up for X-Plane 12, coming in for $14 or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. And finally, rounding out the NovaWrap for this week, so the team over at Slytherin Studios have released I normally don't cover this kind of thing, but I got a chance to get hands-on with very early alpha build of this game back last year at last year's Flight Sim Expo, and I saw this week that they released the demo of the shortly to be released full version of this game called Scramble Battle of Britain. So this is a interesting game, this one. So this is a sort of a hybrid strategy simulation game. So for anyone who's ever played, I'm trying to think of something similar to this one, but there were a number of board game style. It's got like a board game feel to it. Or if you ever played, I think it's Sid Meier's Aces. I think was probably the other. It's the one I'm trying to think of as an equivalent. This is a turn-based strategy dogfight simulator set during the dark days of September 1940 over Great Britain, during the height of the Battle of Britain. And it basically puts you in charge of a number of aircraft from either British or German sides to actually go through a number of aerial battles to actually stem the tide of the German advance through the skies, or perhaps maybe turn the tide in the Germans' favour. So it gives us pretty good visuals here, as well as giving you the idea of actually taking these kind of simulation. There's simulation elements to it, but it is sort of a hybrid, as I said, between simulation and turn-based strategy. And this is an absolutely fascinating title. And for me, As I said, having played an early alpha build, I think that this looked absolutely fantastic then, and the demo that has just been released also looks pretty damn awesome. So during this initial release, this initial demo, this puts you straight into the thick of combat, either using from the Royal Air Force side, you can either fly the Supermarine Spitfire or the Hawker Hurricane. If you're flying in the under the helm of the Luftwaffe, you have the choice of the Messerschmitt 109 or the 110. And then there's a number of AI aircraft included there as well. You have a couple of different missions available. You can do direct dogfighting of fighter on fighter, or you can do your best to stop enemy bombers getting through your lines. So as I said, this is a free demo that is available to the community to give you a try in the preparation for the release. The release is supposed to be coming out, I believe, in the next few weeks. So I am super excited to see the full release here. Super excited to get my hands on the demo, and hoping that the team will be on display, be able to display this once again at Flight Sim Expo. So if you want to pick this up, you can pick this demo up and give it a try yourself for free, available on Steam now. And speaking of Flight Sim Expo, as we round out the NovaWrap this week, yes, I will be in attendance next week at Flight Sim Expo in Las Vegas, and I am looking forward to, once again, being able to rub shoulders with many of you in the flight simulation community. So I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all the announcements and all the various conversations and talks that we're going to be having, and presentations from a number of developers, old and new, as well as I said, meeting every one of all of the people that call our flight simulation hobby and simulation hobbies in general their passion. So speaking of that, if you have any burning questions that you would like me to ask a number of developers, I have a number of interviews lined up and hoping to secure some more once I get there on site. If you have any burning questions that you would like to see answered for you and your fellow community members, there is a link in the description down below for you to fill out and add your questions to my list, and I'll do my best to answer them when I am interviewing various developers, members of the community when I am there. And if you haven't already picked up your tickets to Flight Sim Expo and you can make it, it is on at Las Vegas, or in Las Vegas rather. You can grab your tickets either to the in-person part of the event if you can make it, or if you're wanting to be part of and see some of the exclusive announcements that are going to be happening at the event, you can pick up a virtual ticket from the link in the description down below. Hope to see you there. And that, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap. Obviously, because I will be in Las Vegas next week, there will be no NovaWrap next week. So hopefully you can all survive without that. But I'm sure we will be doing a wrap-up of the events with my fellow 3 Grumpy Simmers, because I'm not sure if Las Vegas is quite prepared for it yet, but the 3 Grumpy Simmers will all be together once again at the same location. So it's going to be exciting to do that. I hope to see you there. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, be amazing humans, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.